Hey guys, Kelsey Herber here with our series, Live on Purpose. In this series, we've been answering a handful of questions. Who, what, why, where, when, and how. Answering the question who reveals our identity. Answering the question what informs our values. Answering the question why leads to empowerment for ourselves and others. And answering the questions where, when, and how help establish our goals. And that's what we're going to talk about today, establishing our goals and answering the questions where, when, and how. When I was the head coach in my first year of my college volleyball team, I had us do a goal setting meeting to kick off our season. And we did that for the first 2 years, where we would simply say, here's what we want to accomplish in our season. Let's all commit to it. Let's all sign a paper saying, I'm all in. Well, then I had a player come to me and say, hey coach, I think instead of these being goals, they really just need to be expectations. Like, we're not hoping to do these things, but we are expected to do these things day in and day out. I thought it was brilliant. And I was like, deal, that's what we're gonna shift to. So then fast forward the next 2 years of being the head coach of this program, we did an expectations meeting to kick off the season instead, where we simply said, here's what we are committed to doing day in and day out. These are expectations. Sign a paper. Let's all commit to it. Well, then I got to my 5th year and I thought, you know what? I think what is going to be the most impactful is actually combining both of these concepts. Because when we establish our goal, we're answering the question, where are we going? But if we just leave it at that, something feels missing. Well, that's when the expectations in the process comes in, and that answers, how are we going to get there? What's going to be expected of us in the process day in and day out? Well, we also have to answer that question, when? Because we might have a goal and know what we want to do in order to get there, how we want to get there, but if we don't know when we're hoping to arrive, that can make it more challenging and confusing as well. So when we are setting goals in our program, and now it's something I try to embrace in my life as well, I want to establish, where am I going? How am I going to get there? And when would I like to arrive? And what that allows you to do is to zoom in or zoom out, as I would say. What I mean by that is, for example, with my team, if we know where we're going and how we want to get there, after a loss that we have, a challenging loss, it might be really easy to get stuck there and say, oh no, we lost a match. Are we totally derailed from what we have set out to accomplish? And what we need to do in those moments is zoom out. Zoom out and look at the big picture. One loss does not completely derail us from our journey of where we're trying to go, how we're trying to get there, and when we'd like to arrive. We're not derailed. Let's go zoom out and look at the big picture. And this concept allows us to zoom in when we need to. Maybe we have a really exciting win during the season and we come in the next day for practice and we're just already on cloud 9 because we had a big win. Well, that would be an example of a time where we need to zoom in and say, okay, let's zoom in here and let's think about, what do we need to accomplish or do today in this practice? What are we going to focus on? What's the expectation for today in the process? So that we don't get lost in the big picture and can also embrace those details and those smaller steps along the way. That being said, here are some discussion questions for you this week. 1, what is a goal that you have for your life? And have you established how you're going to get there and when you would like to arrive? Number 2, when would it be helpful for you to zoom in or zoom out? Doing this helps us gain perspective, it gives us direction, it keeps us motivated. So when would it be helpful for you to do that? And 3, who can you invite on this journey with you of goal setting? Somebody who knows you, cares about you, and loves you. A couple challenges for you this week. I want you to think of just one goal that you can establish And of course, I want you to answer all 3 questions. Where am I going? How am I gonna get there? When would I like to arrive? And challenge number 2, invite someone on the journey with you. Let's not let another day go by that we go through this life not knowing where we're going, how we're gonna get there, and when we'd like to arrive as we live on purpose.